it's sad, but it's the truth. Like, the first thing I remember, like my very first memory as a human being, was my uncle getting around Robinson. He got like I remember the day, January 12th, and I just think about the 112 and the song Cupid. Yeah, January 12th, and I remember it vividly because it was a hot day. My mother was washing her car, and I literally see my uncle get. And
seen it.
Yeah, the whole neighborhood seen him get. I'm a child, so I think it's over a basketball game, but I don't know what it was actually over, but it was a game of basketball, and 5 minutes later, my uncle was.
Hello everybody, so this is Keith, our childhood friend who was heavily into the streets at one point of his life, and now he is in seminary school to become a pastor, and we wanted to welcome him on the show today so he can tell us his story, so he can give us specifics about his journey, how he got there, what made him want to convert his life over to God, and whatever else he want to share with us today. This is Keith.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
we
are
appreciate
so excited.
Yeah. Y'all father told me about this months ago, so I'm glad we got it done.
Yes.
Appreciate
So, who is Keith today?
Today, Keith is a married man for 6 years, proud homeowner. I was like a great credit score. Enrolled in seminary school. I got a full-time job as a cybersecurity consultant, but I don't really like it because it don't help me with my passions. I volunteer for a nonprofit in DC called Recovery Cafe DC, where I mentor young men from 18 to 24, the youth transitional age, and just try to stop them at the gate before they go to jail. Because most programs wait till you come out of jail. So I try to meet them before they go there. So that's what Keith Anderson is today. A proud father, a proud husband, and a God-fearing man.
Okay. My first question is, how did you learn about the program that you're volunteering in, and what made you want to volunteer in that program?
Well, the program, Recovery Cafe, I met the CEO, Reverend Jacqueline Connolly, through my wife, and the program I created myself with my partner Jim Marsh. It's called Headwaters, and my partner Jim, he has a bigger definition about it. It starts upstream, and he gives an example of the Mississippi River. When it's down in the Gulf, is very wide, and you got to get a boat to get across. But where it starts, you can just jump over it with your feet, and that's where trauma starts with a lot of young men. When they lash out, it's like a big ocean, but what started that trauma is something very, very small that happened a long time ago.
Right.
So, I partner with Jim. He know my passions. He know that, my life is not about me, and I like to try to help young men and not just hey, put that gun down, but ask you the important questions like, what happened to you? What's wrong? Because most people see young dudes and they say, what the hell going on with him? And they don't really give them an opportunity to express themselves why are you doing this?
Right.
What happened to you? So that's what the Headwaters program is all about.
That's lit. That is lit, because it's so crazy, because earlier I was thinking into my own head, because my daughter, she's 1, but she has been acting up in daycare, right? Not in daycare, but after daycare, after I pick her up, and in the morning before I drop her off. But I noticed that when I take her, she's been crying for the last 2 weeks. So it's like she don't want to be in that classroom that she in, right? So me as a parent, I'm like, no, something is wrong because bad behavior don't come from nothing. Bad behavior is a cry out for help. Yeah. So my 1-year-old daughter was misbehaving to communicate with me that she was unhappy in the classroom that she was in. Yeah. And I took her out, literally. She been out of that classroom for 2 days. And the last 2 days has been great. Yeah, she's been happy. She hasn't, exactly, she's crying out for help. And these young guys that's just misbehaving, and we judging them like they effed up and they messing up the world. And this is, I'm guilty of saying these things myself because it's hard to walk out the door. It's like they don't care if we outside or not. They gonna shoot, they gonna do what they do. But at the end of the day, it does stem from something.
I said that today too.
From something.
We got a lot of trauma, like a lot. And you can't really understand it unless you in it with somebody. Especially like our black men, like even being in a relationship, you can see that something happened. And I'm glad you had the outlet because a lot of black men don't want to talk about it. Like they don't even want to seek the help for it. And I'm the type of person like, let's go to counseling. Like I'm all for counseling and therapy, but a lot of men are afraid. And catching them young and getting them to talk about these things and open up about their feelings is very important. Yeah. Like that is very important.
And more important, like you say, they don't want to. They don't have the opportunity. They don't have the platform. Like you can walk outside your door. You're not gonna have a group of dudes in the street saying, "How was your day? How you feeling?" You know. The thing that struck me the most, man, hit me hard when the young guy, I told him, I said, "I'm proud of you." He said, "Nigga, what you gay?" I say, "Nah, man, like I'm just showing you, man, like I appreciate the effort you making." Say, "Man, my father never even told me I'm proud of you." Wow. I was like, that's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing it, because they never had an opportunity. And we so quick to like throw them in a group with, the misfits or the ones who misbehave or the bad kids. Like, nah, kids ain't born bad. Exactly. You know, something happened and we need to give them the opportunity to share. You know what I'm saying? And with my young men that I work with, like I show them I'm vulnerable first, so I share with them like my childhood and how I grew up, because these young dudes, they got walls up, like it's defense, like you ain't, like my mother hurt me, my father hurt me, my uncle hurt me, you're a stranger, I ain't about to let you hurt me. You know what I'm saying? And like most of these dudes, they only a number to somebody or a pawn for a grant needed for some money, you know, and they don't really, you know, my partner Jim, he say most organizations go a mile long and an inch deep, meaning they try to connect with 600 kids, but they only know their first name. But what we do, we try to go a mile deep and an inch wide. So I'm dealing with 5 kids, but I know deep down what's going on. Like, I know their pets' names. I know that their grandmother died in 2000. Like that's how you really build camaraderie with kids and how you allow them to trust you. And I can honestly say, like the folks I've been dealing with, they at the youth the young adult learning center in Maya Angelou, and those are folks who couldn't finish high school and come back to get their GED. Like a lot of dudes I work with, they finishing their GED. They accomplishing things, because I don't just look at them as a number. You know what I'm saying? I look at them as myself when I was their age. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's exactly what they need. That is really exactly what they need.
And it's important that they have you, that somebody that can relate and somebody that been there, so really understand, know the struggle, know what it's like to be out there, to be unheard. I'm getting passionate about the crowd. They need this, because this world is scary right now for everybody. Like older men don't go to work, go home. They don't even want to be out in these streets. It's scary.
Yeah, it is.
It is scary, and
nobody don't want to help them because people are afraid of them. Because they already said, we hear a lot of guys say that the younger generation, you can't talk to them. It goes in one ear, out the other. So nobody don't want to say nothing to them. Nobody don't want to get involved. So who helps them when they really need it?
Which is why I appreciate so much that you emphasize the importance of asking them, like, how are you? Because people don't ask them questions like that. Like when you go outside, like, y'all don't have nothing else better to do. That's not the way to approach. That's the first thing people say. But they not asking you, like, it's when somebody is showing that they sincerely care about you, they are asking you questions about you. How is your day going? Like, what do you like to do outside of the streets? Like, when you're not in the streets, what do you like to do? Most of these boys that's out here toting guns and stuff probably go home and play video games. Like, they still babies. They babies. And I'm not saying metaphorically that they probably go home and play video games. No, seriously, they shoot their guns and they go in the house and play video games because they still interested in Grand Theft Auto and games. So they are still babies, but we look at them as if they are menaces and as if they already lived 40 years of life, which they didn't. But they don't have. The teachers these days don't even care, and that's a whole different. That's a whole different. Right. That's a whole different episode. The teachers don't care. But at first, when we was young, and it was kids that was suffering from traumas at home, school was their escape. And the teachers cared. Like the teachers cared. My teacher, she cared about me. She stepped in a lot of times for me. She literally cared about me. A lot of my teachers, I'm talking about from elementary all the way to high school. I don't know where it changed since I left school because teachers don't. I was speaking to somebody who I know who was a teacher, and I was telling her, she like, the little girl so grown, she this, she that, she a third. But she also said in the same conversation that the little girl always have to babysit her siblings. And so I'm saying, listen to yourself. You saying she too grown, but you also saying she has to be an adult when she go home. She babysitting kids. She only in the 3rd grade. It's not her responsibility to be raising kids. But her parents are teaching her, are raising her like an adult. So she comes to school and you are looking at her like she too grown when she really just been in survival mode like she is at home. And it's like we getting so caught up in their bad behavior that we are losing sight of their traumas and we losing our compassion for them. So this I'm already appreciative of this episode already, and we just in the beginning. We only on the first question because it's even putting that back into me, like it's restoring my compassion for them back into me. So when I do go outside, I'm not looking at them like I'm afraid of them. Because I don't like when people look at me like they're afraid of me. And when I say people, I mean other races of people. Because we walk outside and they look at us like we are animals or something. So that's what I've been doing to these young boys. When I walk outside, I'm looking at them as if they are animals or something just because I'm afraid of them. So I have to start looking at them as human again and having compassion for them and the things that they might be going through at home. And maybe even sometimes asking them like, how y'all doing today?
Not really. You gotta do that. But I know how intimidating it could be, especially when you see on the news 14-year-old rob this person, 15-year-old rob this person. But you just gotta, like, I know I'm in seminary school, but you just gotta trust in God. And you gotta just have faith that I can make this young man day by just smiling at him. You know how many young dudes I walk past, they got their Pushicey mask on, they just look like they up to something. Let's smile, how you doing, young brother? They don't get that. They get, what's up, nigga? What's up, Slim? You got that switch on you, shorty? You just gotta show them something different. And you gotta have compassion, because every time I look at them, I say, that was me 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And when I walk past somebody, they look like they scared of me, but I ain't even on nothing. I'm trying to find out how I'm about to get high. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's a thin line, but like, some people gotta be out here fighting that battle, and like that's what I'm doing, because it's like it's needed. Like, cause who gonna be our doctors and stuff in 50 years from now?
Exactly.
Who gonna be running for mayor? You know, who gonna be the next mayor? Who gonna be the police officers? Who gonna be the lawyers? Like, who gonna is the children are the future? That's real. Like, because we was like this 20 years ago. What we gonna be? I know a lot of people thought I was gonna be dead. Nobody say, you know what I'm saying? Nobody say, I'm gonna see you in 20 years. I'm like, it's a jail cell for you, shawty. That's what they say. So when they say break the chains, like, you really got, it ain't just words, and like, you can't just pray on it. Like, your prayer, you gotta have actions behind it. You can't just pray for the violence to stop or slow down. You gotta really put action to it and try. But that's
you can't be scared, man.
So,
like,
go ahead.
I was just about to say, like, you know, back in the day when they fought for slavery and stuff, they couldn't be afraid.
Yeah.
It's the same fight.
Yeah.
It's the same fight, and we really do have to fight for our youth, because a lot of us are giving up.
Yeah.
We are giving up on them.
Yeah, that's facts.
So, since you talk a lot about like who you were, who you are now, let's talk about like who you were then.
Okay.
So just give us a little bit about like some of the things you went through like growing up before you became who you are now.
Well, man, this like it's sad, but it's the truth. Like the first thing I remember, like my very first memory as a human being, was my uncle getting killed around Robinson. He got killed. Like I remember the day, January 12th, and I just think about the 112 and the song Cupid. He got killed January 12th, and I remember it vividly because it was a hot day. My mother was washing her car, and I literally see my uncle get killed. And
You've seen it.
Yeah, the whole neighborhood seen him get gunned down. I'm a child, so I think it's over a basketball game, but I don't know what it was actually over, but it was a game of basketball, and 5 minutes later, my uncle was dead, and that's like the first thing I remember. So everything else is just like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And
You said you were 5?
No, it was the beginning of 95. My birthday in July, I was 4.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
wow.
4.
And you remember that.
Yeah, that's the first thing I remember.
The day and everything.
And that's
That's
is
what I
that
remember.
the day that like you think things changed for you? Like
No, because I was young. I remember it, but to be honest, I used that as when I was out here doing all of the devil's work. I was using it as an excuse. I was using it as an excuse. And that's just to be honest. But it did set me on a trajectory, like seeing somebody get killed and then having to go to school the next day. And my mom, she kept her big brother's clothes in my closet. I don't know why, but maybe she couldn't let go. And I used to try on his bloody boots, his big baggy pants, and his green hoodie, just like covered in blood. Like she really kept that in the bag in my room. So like my life started off like as fucked up as it can be. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have a father. I grew up around Robinson Place, and the bar was so low. Like I got my first job at 16. My 16th birthday, I filled out a job application. I got hired like 10 days later, and like everybody was so proud of me because people wasn't working. There wasn't no people who not graduated. People who stopped going to school, dropped out, and was outside hustling and all that. Like they had no jobs. So the bar was set so low around Robinson, and a few of my going on, like we graduated and everything, but I seen like so many people get killed around Robinson Place. I've seen so many people get killed around Robinson Place. So that did set me like on a crash course. But I changed. But I use that as an excuse a lot. Like, growing up, everybody go through something. Y'all grew up around Parkland, grew up around Robinson.
The crazy thing is we grew up down the street, but I was always scared to come around y'all neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, my wife's grandmother, she told me stories that her grandma told her, like, don't get on that W4. Don't get on that W6. Don't get on that W8.
The one that
W6
Don't get on that bus. Yeah, I mean, it was like
the bus drivers hated going through Robinson.
Yeah.
That old Robinson.
Yeah.
I mean,
None of the kids paid for the bus either.
Nope.
nah, for real. Like, I mean, it was sad though. Like because that's what we did for fun. We had no basketball court. We had no playground. We had no recreation center. It was just like.
But that's how you get set up for failure. No basketball court, nothing to do outside.
We was throwing rocks at the buses. Then we started throwing rocks at the cars. And I was like, it ain't nothing else to do. Let's go get a gun. Let's go get a gun.
That's what it turned into.
Yeah. That's what you seen growing up. People getting killed. Like I've never seen that before. I seen dead bodies, but I never seen nobody actually get killed.
Yeah,
that's traumatizing. You probably don't even know that you probably been traumatized.
It was a normal occurrence, like,
and you became numb to it.
Like you go to school, like, oh, you see the blood the next morning, like, dang, you tell, like, you pick up bullets, and like, oh, it's probably from the gun that killed the person last night. Like,
to even be able to try on your uncle's bloody clothes, like, I think that
Yeah, I mean, man, it was tough, but. This is a story of 9 out of 10 kids in this whole area.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's not what you went through, it's what you going to do, who you going to be from there. Are you going to use it as an excuse like how I did, or you going to say, my father wasn't there, I'm going to be there. I seen how my mother treated, or I seen how my father treated this person, or somebody's mother was on drugs. Are you going to be a drug addict, or you going to stay away from it? So we all got a choice. Yeah. It's harder than others. Some people have it harder than others. Like you said, like a third grader is taking care, like being a parent to their younger sibling while their mother out doing God knows what. It's like, it's all trauma. And like, me growing up, like nobody never said, you all right, shawty? All they say, somebody hit you, hit them back. Or don't go like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
they just teach you have to be tough, don't cry. But we don't have an outlet.
Mechanisms.
We don't. They do. No, seriously. That's all they teach us in the hood. Seriously, they
that
teach
we have to fight,
and that we shouldn't change.
It's no, not fight. You gotta fight.
No, exactly.
Everybody don't want to fight all the time. Even if you're not scared, you just don't want to fight.
But when you get older and you're wiser, you realize like the strongest people are the ones who avoid conflict.
Exactly.
Yes.
But we don't learn that.
We learn the opposite. The strongest people is the ones who gonna fight.
Gonna fight to the death.
The hardest dudes are the ones who gonna pop off first. Like, and I never get jumping people, and we jumped a lot of people. I got jumped a lot of times. But what's the point of one dude on the ground and 7 people kicking him? You're not winning from that.
Yeah.
But if I was to push all my friends away and say, nah, man, like what are we doing? Like, what point are we making? Point are we proving? Like, you go hard because you jump one person with 5 other dudes. Yeah. Go over that jail and see somebody one-on-one in that small area and they got a knife. Then you'll see if you go hard or not. But this stuff we learn as we get older. And one thing I be telling the young dudes, they be like, man, what advice could you give us? I say, take that mask off, man.
Thank you. Please.
Because the city, the neighborhood,
and I know it stinks.
The mask, man, I swear it stunk for me, man, because it's like I didn't ask to be who I was. Like I was rapping, I was a robber, but I ain't never asked for none of that. It's just one person say, like one dude to say, oh yeah, he go hard. I'm like, oh, he think I go hard, so every time I see him, I gotta go hard. Then when I go hard in front of him, he tell his broad, I'm like, girl, this little dude from Robinson Place from up to Z, they go hard. So now I'm thinking I gotta go hard in front of everybody. I gotta go hard, but I'm not hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hard. One thing, like I ain't gonna lie, like a lot of people need to come to this realization. I realized like I wasn't about that life.
I don't think. I don't think nobody is about that life. I had a conversation with one of my friends from Parkland who is incarcerated right now, and you would think he is about that life. You would think he crazy, like he ain't scared of nothing. But he said every time before he got into it with somebody, he was scared every single time. But again, you got to show people that you're not scared because they don't teach us that scared is just an emotion that we all get scared. Like first of all, before you fight, in the fight you can die. Right. So who's not going to be scared? But you gotta put on this mask, like you said, and pretend that you're not scared so much. And now people are so scared that they don't want to look like punks and stuff that they are killing.
But walking away shows more strength than even fighting the person.
Yeah. And the hood dictionary, that's not
the
hood dictionary is whoever picked that gun up first. But my partner tell me this all the time, like anger is just a lid. It's a trash can. Anger is the lid. What's inside that trash can is fear. Like when we all angry, we scared. I'm mad at my wife. Why you mad at your wife? Because I'm scared she's gonna leave me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Or the police. I'm scared. I'm about to kill this dude. Why? Because I'm scared for my life. Like, anger is a lid for fear. But this stuff I'm learning like way later down the line. And that's why I try to meet the dudes when they my age, when they 17, 18, because like I learned so much, and I learned so much because I removed like the person, the people, the places, and the things that was like leading me to destruction. And that's like one of the hardest things I ever had to do. Like dudes that I was shooting with, dudes that I was robbing with, I had to like turn my back on them because they wasn't no good for me. And the dudes that I left, like they really like everybody can like. Anybody from South just can sit in this chair and be like, half of my friends dead and half of them in jail. And that's the sad part. And we talking about a bunch of different people. Like,
yeah.
I
can say that too.
I can say me too.
Yeah, like
me too.
Yeah, and that's the sad part about it. But that was like one of the hardest things I had to do when I get out of the streets is just turn my back on my friends, and they didn't accept it with, oh yeah, you're a sucker, you're a punk. Like, in order to survive and take care of my kids, I gotta be that. I'm fine, I'll be that punk. But now in 2024, I'm a successful punk. And I was telling my brother,
right.
I tell my brother about that.
That's right.
Nah, for real, like being a square is the best thing that ever happened.
For real. My ex-boyfriend, he said, I don't want to be no square. And he is not alive today. He's not alive today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
he said he didn't want to be
that's a thing too. Not wanting to be something that the society isn't accepting of. You gotta be this gangster, this
going against
thorough.
the grain.
But why is it square? They had that debate about Sierra's husband, Russell Wilson. Like, he is not a square.
They just could pan him to the ghetto baby father.
They could pan him. And they say he is square.
A marvelous choice.
How?
And she's happy as hell.
And they look bomb. They got a nice family. Like,
he a great father, a provider. She looks very happy with him.
Yeah.
How is he a square? We're square about that. But our men, our young black men, they scared to be that because they don't want to be called a square.
Or they're scared to be themselves.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly. Who they really are.
Who they really are.
They're scared to be themselves.
Who they really are. And that's why I was able to say people that's out there toting guns is going home and watching video games because I know a few people myself. That in the streets, they are thorough. They are big dogs. But guess what? They going in the house and watching Home Alone. At my age. Seriously.
No, it was, I'm going to do you one better because I watched Home Alone. Back in 2008, we had a debate, man. We was around Rod's place and we was cool with the dudes up Connoisseurs and Wilder. They was arguing me down. We was having arguments over Nickelodeon or Disney. Really.
Oh, like, Disney all day.
Yeah, exactly.
All day.
He had a whole big
Disney all day.
But
Nickelodeon.
But y'all was out there in the streets arguing about which one is better, Nickelodeon or Disney.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, y'all out there probably when y'all finished debating, y'all went to go rob something.
Yeah.
But y'all know that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Because ain't no way Lizzie McGuire inspires you to go rob somebody.
Exactly.
No, but that's just it's just who you really are.
We watch TV.
And you be who you really are. My ex-boyfriend told me I was the only person that know who he really is. I saw him read the encyclopedia and everything. Yeah. But when he go outside, all they see is a different person.
Yeah.
If you don't have nobody who know you, who you can be yourself around, that's just a life of destruction. You can't be yourself around nobody.
You trying to fit in with people that's not even being themselves.
Exactly. Exactly.
I can vouch for that because my wife, like, she get the full me and like.
And it feel good, don't it?
Like I don't gotta wear a mask around her.
And it feels great.
Man, I can tell her my darkest secrets. I can fart around her and laugh. But she does know that she got to protect her. But I ain't running around here macho. You know what I'm saying? But she know that like my husband gonna protect me. She ain't got to worry about stuff. But she also know like I'm just a big cuddly bitch. And like I said, I didn't have that when I was out there in the streets. You can't act like a big cuddly bear. Now you gotta be a demon.
You do.
You gotta be a demon, or you think you gotta be a demon. I thought I had to be a demon.
That's what I'm glad we having this conversation because I just feel like it's relatable to all guys. I mean, the boyfriends that I had, first of all, my ex-boyfriend that I talk about, but my boyfriend now, he's a cuddly bear too. But my ex-boyfriend is the first boy that introdued me to that. Like, I'm like, men are sensitive as hell. Like, they are more sensitive. They need hugs and they need you to rock them like that.
They just want to be held. Just hold me. Just hold
me. Literally.
That's the best feeling in the world.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I got 3 red flags. One of the red flags when I knew the streets wasn't for me, I cried on Precious. She said, the doctor said I got HIV. I cried.
Oh my.
I said, y'all need to get out the street. I gotta get out the street. I can't be toting guns crying.
It's okay.
So what was the other 2?
Other 2 red flags when I knew the streets wasn't for me. When I got shot by a real close friend.
Oh my God.
In 2013.
That's always the one.
Yeah, I got shot.
It's always like that.
I said,
it's because your radar down with them.
Yeah. But like, I ain't had nothing to do with the reason I got shot. And he shot me, and I said, damn, like, he was really ready to take me out. The person who we say we love each other, we smoke weed with each other, we pass each other guns. Like, I had no sense that he would do that to me. I'm like, if he willing to do that, I'm not willing to do that. I'm not that type of guy. Like, I have no problem. I had no problem harming somebody else, harming a stranger, going around somebody else doing something to them. But somebody I say I love, like, I really got emotional ties to you, I couldn't do it. So I told myself, I'm in the hospital bed, like, man, like, in order to be a street dude, you really got to be ready to take out one of your closest friends. Like, and I'm not that snake. Like, I can't hug you and then tell you I love you and then try to kill you or try to take something from you. And that's one of the red flags. Like, the streets ain't for me because I'm just not that cold blooded. You got some dudes out there that's cold blooded.
Yeah,
like, he was obviously ready to take me out, but I couldn't do that to him. It's like, even after I got shot, like, I couldn't see myself harming him or nothing coming his way. And that's one thing people didn't understand. Like, oh, you a bitch, you let him shoot you. Like, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Like, I don't wish no harm on him. And a lot of my friends didn't understand that. And that was the beginning of my turning point. So maybe getting shot was one of the best things that happened to me. The second red flag was when I got locked up. The first time I got locked up over to jail, it was nothing, a slap on the wrist, 30 days. You over DC jail with half of your friends, so everybody you know is cool. But when I went to down in Wackenhut, and I see dudes who 50 and they've been in there for 30 years, and dudes who 20 and they got 40 more to go.
Oh my God.
And I knew I only had 12 months. I was like, oh, nah, I can't do this. And I be asking dudes, like, how you feel? They say the same thing.
Your mind?
They say the same thing. I wish I never did it. I wish I didn't answer the phone for my man. I wish I didn't let that broad make me crash out. You know, I wish I stayed in the house with my kids. I say, when I come home, I'm gonna do all that. And then one of my closest friends, man, like one of my brothers, we was in Haven House together. And I said, hey, bro, I don't know what you doing, bro, but I'm giving all this shit up. He was like, shit, I can't. Like, a few years later, man, he dead. I'm like, I can't, bro. And it's like, I ain't gonna lie, like, really, like, it's probably a cliche, but like, God really fight my battles. Like, cause I ain't got no worries. I went from having to carry a gun everywhere you go, the laundromat, grocery store. You know how uncomfortable that is? People don't talk about that, how uncomfortable. First of all, carrying an illegal gun is uncomfortable. It's all up in here. You can't bend down. You can't do this. You can't do that. But looking over your shoulder everywhere you go, you can't shit in peace.
That's traumatic.
You can't shit in peace. Like, and I know a lot of people be like, oh, that dude, like, he's showing off, like, you don't got to stir down every car like that. No, you really do, because you're so paranoid. And that's the thing, everybody out here with a gun paranoid. They think everybody trying to kill him. They think everybody trying to kill him. They paranoid.
Yeah, I had an ex-boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, y'all, if he knock on the door and I come to the door 2 minutes too late, you try to get me killed? Me? Cause I ain't open the door fast enough or leave. Like, what?
Nah, really.
I gotta walk to the door.
My mind ain't on that, but when you even dating somebody and they in the streets, it's constant torture for you too.
It is.
So you gotta be careful who you talking to, because it's for you. You start getting paranoid. You start looking over your shoulder, thinking somebody after you, watching in your rear view mirror. I used to watch my rear view mirror to make sure nobody ain't following me, and for what? I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, me and my wife, we argued plenty nights about that. Like, when we first started talking, when I was first getting out the streets, we'd pull up, she'd look in the mirror. I'm like, baby, when you pull up, we get out the car and go straight in the house. You can't just be sitting around lollygag and giving somebody a moment to come up and pull up. She's like, I ain't before nobody. She's like, I ain't before nobody. I'm like, yeah, but it's still like, we live in Southeast. But like, I get what you're saying, because like, you ain't asked for that life. Like, why do I gotta look over my shoulder? Because you looking over your shoulder.
We go through it with y'all, though.
It's uncomfortable. Like being a street dude is uncomfortable. Like,
it ain't. It's
no. So you met your wife before, like, you met her.
I met my wife through a mutual friend when I was locked up. He was bragging about her, like, on the what? Like, yeah, you got me, sis. Yeah, she from Southeast, but she ain't like no other Southeast junk. I'm like, man, I already Southeast. Good bro.
Don't be going on no
Nah, I'm like, when we locked up, he just he thought so highly of this girl. I'm like, I gotta see who she is. And when I met her, like she was everything she said he was, like the best head on her shoulders. And I knew I was gonna marry this. So, full disclaimer, I met her in 2016, proposed in 2018, and got married in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, actually, met her 16, proposed 17, married 18. So
you right away.
Yeah, in the span of 3 years, I wasn't letting her go. I didn't care no. But nah, like that. What I knew she was the one when our first conversation. This was when Donald Trump was trying to run in office for Hillary Clinton. That's what we was talking about. We was talking about politics and the ocean and space and stars. I said, you can't be from Southeast. Cause
don't be sleeping on.
No, I know. Like I usually had conversations. We talking about. Now it's Don Julio. First it was Patron. We
my God.
That conversation about Patron and the 3.5. That's it. But it wasn't none of that, man. But that's how I met my wife, and like that's like the best. She like the strongest person I know in this world. She like the best person.
Yeah. Southeast girls got the bad. Right. I'm glad you found you a Merlin Southeast girl. I'm a Merlin Southeast girl. For real. I don't know nothing about no 3.5.
Nah, for real though.
Like. Somebody tried to book me, but how they tried to book me was roll my weed for me. I said, what? Like, are you crazy? I wasn't even in Southeast. I was in what's that, Northeast? Over there by Montana?
Yeah, that's Northeast.
Roll my weed for me.
Like what?
He thought I was gonna think that was cute.
Sir, I don't even smell.
Yeah, boo, let me roll your weed. No.
That's because you was up Montana.
I said you don't approach a female like that. I don't even smoke. Roll your weed. Bye. No, I will not.
That's crazy.
I was mad. But
that's crazy.
It just like I was upset because even if I did smoke, or even for the females that do smoke, the standard should not be that low. A man should not be able to approach you like that. I don't understand it. The girls these days, they allowing these dudes to call them the B word, roll my weed. I remember my friend, she was like, yes, I think he is the one. Why would he do, girl, he left out this morning, he left me a bag of weed.
The bar is on the ground.
The bar is on the ground. He the one because he left you a bag of weed.
It's way on the ground because I even hate when they're youngins. And I'm older I don't know if I'm older than you, but I know I'm older than Murray and Kiera. But how they talk to each other, they be like, the female would say to her dude, bruh, where you going at?
Yeah, they do talk like that. They talk like guys.
I almost smacked the shit out of my son. He called his girlfriend bruh on the phone. He about to be 17 next week. I was like,
that is weird.
It's like the women are being more masculine.
Yes.
And they're not allowing men to be men.
Well, the men ain't men. That's another
that
thing
too.
The men becoming a little more feminine. That's that's a whole nother. They know exactly what they're doing and exactly what they want to push on our young people. And what they are pushing is masculinity on women and femininity on men.
Exactly.
And food is also making the women look a little more masculine. And I don't know what the food doing to the men, but I don't know if it's just me, but the women are starting to look a little more buff.
These kids, period, are bigger.
Yeah. I mean,
these kids, period, are way bigger than we were when.
My wife is a woman and I'm a man. So I was telling my single friends, man, be careful.
So we really have to watch out for the people who are controlling the world because they are doing this to us.
And we're ultimately trying to please them. And
you just gotta see, like, with your mind's eye, not with your physical eye, but like see, like,
third eye,
and watch. Yes, your third. Like, think about it and watch what's going on around you because it's a lot that we don't know.
The world is
that we're not supposed to know, that we're never gonna know.
That's a great point you bring, and this ain't no sermon, but the Bible tells us to not focus on earthly things, and that's the earthly things: the logos, the brands, the what's going on social media,
the chain, the money.
We can't focus on that. We can't focus on that because it ain't gonna get us nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And none of this stuff we
but it
got.
makes people feel good though, especially with black people.
It makes us feel good, but it shouldn't.
I don't even think it makes people feel good, to be honest.
But that's what the Bible is saying. Like, if it should feed your soul, not your physical. It should feed,
Yeah, man.
That's why I said I don't think it make people feel good, because people who come from places like us, and a lot of us kind of came up with nothing, so we feel like when we get these material things, it's gonna make us feel a type of way. But at the end of the day, after you spend your money and get it, you don't feel anything. And if anything, you feeling bad for spending all your money on something that
because you did it to try to show everybody.
Exactly.
White people's doing that smart.
Exactly. So
I try to tell my kids, man, don't love nothing out here but living things. You know, people say, I love Miami. You don't love Miami. Take your ass down there when it's a hurricane. I bet you don't love Miami. Oh, I love the club. You only love the club when it's free or you get in with your homies. You know what I'm saying? So we throw these words like love, friendship, friends, bros. We throw it around loosely and it loses meaning. It loses meaning. You know how you got so much money it becomes useless? These words are becoming useless because I met you today and I'm texting you tomorrow. What's up, bro? I'm not your bro. It's okay for me not to be your bro. I can say, what's up, good man? But we just use these words and I'm like, oh, I love her. You don't even know her. You just love that she accepts you back after you cheat. You don't love her. You don't love your homie. You just love that he always got some weed for you to smoke.
Exactly. And that's the only thing y'all got in common.
That's where a lot of the trauma stemming from too, because when you do use these words loosely and somebody show you something that you didn't want them to show you, then you start feeling like, I thought that was my friend. Why would she do that to me? And it's just like you putting a title on somebody and then you putting expectations on them because of that title and end up disappointing.
Yeah.
Zero expectation leads to zero disappointment.
Hello.
Zero expectation leads to zero disappointment. Can't have expectations for somebody and then when they turn around and do what they do, you mad. I tell people that all the time. You can't get mad at somebody for doing them. You mad at them because you thought you wanted them to do you. You wanted them to do what you would do.
That is where I'm trying to accept now because people be throwing me off.
Because they're not doing what you would do in the
exactly. And I always have to tell myself, Key, they're not you.
Exactly.
And my father always say, let people be people.
Man,
and we still trying to figure like
that's
let
important.
People be people. But you know what it is though? I care so much about people and I just want to see everybody be at their best and they high self. And when I see people doing things that like that's not right, it just makes me sad, you know?
But if they don't want the best for themselves,
you can't.
I know when you care about people, it's still hard for you to just accept that this is their life and they going down that journey, and you sometimes you even know like where it's going to lead them. Nowhere good, and it's hard to sit back and just watch it.
And that's why for me, it's very hard for me to watch that, and so when I'm easily able to like walk away from people. I just don't eat. I remove myself from the situation. It's like, I care about you so much, I'm not going to watch you self-destruct. Like, because I can't be that person that say, I don't care because they don't care. I'm not that person. Like, I still care even when they don't care. So the best thing I can do for myself is to remove myself from the situation so I don't have to experience them going down the path that I see them going.
That's the best thing to do because it's like, you going downhill, I'm not going down with you. Because I love myself too much.
And not even just that, like, I'm not going to watch you. I love you. Like, I'm not going to watch you. It's been an empathetic person and like, I learned that I'm just an empath. Like, when I love somebody, what they experience, I feel like I experience their hurt. Like if they crying to me because of what they going through, I'm feeling it. I'm crying too. It ain't that I love myself so much that I ain't going down the hill with you. It's that I love you too much to watch you go down hills. Point blank period. It ain't even about me. It is about you. I care about you too much to watch it. Like if I see that you might end up dead in a few years because what you out here doing in life, that's just the journey that you on. I cannot watch it because I love you. And if I'm this close to you when it happened, it's gonna kill me when it happened to you. So
Definitely.
I just gotta push myself away from the situation so I can feel like I'm far away from it. If it happened, I cannot watch it happen to you because it's gonna kill me just as much as it's like taking you down. It's gonna destroy me at the same time.
Yeah, you brought up a good point, and that's something. What you said it's not about me, and I think that's one of my strengths since like changing my life. I realized that my life is not about me. It's not about what I do, but it's more about the people who I impact.
Exactly.
In a positive way.
Like, exactly.
But you got to deal with your little self. This is our big self, but your little self, like that little person inside of you, you got to deal with that person and realize, like, I got kids, and it go beyond my kids. I got nephews. It go beyond my family. I got these young dudes out here who I can try to impact in a positive way. Because it ain't about me. If it was about me, I'd spend all my money and buy whatever I want. But I don't do that. I think about my kids, my family, and my community. That's what's most important. Because I'm gonna be long gone. But what am I leaving on this earth? And growing up, nobody in my family, we don't leave nothing but debt to us. Even, like, not just my family, like the black family, we just leave debt. My grandmother died broke. But she was a God-fearing woman, and she left so much positive influence and positive impacts on people because of who she was. Because her life wasn't about her. Her life was about her family. Her family treated everybody up under her. She made sure everybody was good. She died without a dime, but she left an impact. Because we are like, the earth is about 4,000 years old. It's going to be here 20,000 years. But we only got 40, 50, 60 years on this earth. What we going to do? You know, how we going to live?
Go ahead.
I'm saying? Like, because when it's that time, God ain't going to ask you how many cars you had.
Right.
Or did you have a Rolex or not? Or was your Rolex fake? Or how many bottles you spent in the club? He ain't going to ask you how many bottles you spent how many bottles you bought in the club.
Did you live a full life?
Who did you
help others?
Did you help other people?
Who did you impact in a positive way? And I'm saying this knowing that, you know, back in my past, I did hurt people, I did harmful things, but, you know, like,
it's never too late.
It's like phases, like a baby, zero to 3 months, they ain't got no teeth. You know what I'm saying? So that's like our 13 to 16-year-olds. We don't know what we doing out here, but then we start crawling. Then we start walking. And at a certain age, you'll start walking by yourself. Like, when you get older, you'll be like, you 30 years old, you still on the crawling phase? Like, when you gonna wake up? Like, I'm not pushing my expectations on you, but it's phases. Like, that's why when things be going on, like, okay, I see a 20-year-old can do that, but you 34 doing that? You 48 doing that? Like, sometimes, like, when would a point be like, enough is enough?
Exactly.
Like, enough is enough. Like, and like you said, like, you care so much, like, like, I can't ride past old places because it's the same dudes out there and it hurt my heart. Like, you've been out there since 2002.
Exactly.
And you stuck. Like, you look around at the same thing, you the same since we was kids. Like, that is heartbreaking.
But I can't confront you. I can't confront you because I think I'm better than you. I'm not better than you.
And that's what I was about to ask. Like, how did people around you react? Like, when you said that, you know, you decided to go to like seminary school and stuff like that.
They called me all types of names. I jumped out the streets. I'm not as hard as I thought I was. I'm like, bro, like, I've been to jail. I've been shot. What more do you want? You want me to die before I say I'm changing my life? Yeah. Like, it was hard. It was hurtful, actually. Like, the dudes who knew who I was, like, couldn't accept the fact that I wanted to do something new. So I wanted to do something new. I wanted to see how it felt to not carry a gun all day. I wanted to see how it felt to maintain a 9 to 5. I wanted to see how it felt to be a fucking good father. Because I couldn't be no good father when I was out there in the streets. Because like I say, I'm uncomfortable. I can't be on the playground with my sons because I'm nervous somebody's going to come through shooting or somebody's going to remember I did something to them. So I wanted to try something new. And I had to realize, I'm not living for Robson Place no more. Because Robson Place gonna be there when I'm gone. Robson Place was there 100 years before I was there.
Knock down and rebuild.
Yeah, knock down and rebuild. Like, so, like, what am I living for out here? I'm living just to die for a neighborhood, and that's like, people beef off over blocks. But
That they
buried
don't own.
right next to each other, the same cemetery. Like y'all sharing cemetery plots, but y'all was just beefing over a block. That may get changed to Marinebury Avenue. You was repping Good Hope Road, now it's on Marinebury Avenue.
Yeah, then you just died for Good Hope.
And even the
Now
dudes
Good
be
Hope
locked
gone.
up. Like dudes locked up for killing each other friends, but it's so long ago now they out the feds together or they come home together and they buddies. But so many people done died from y'all neighborhoods beefing. Like why can't we just stop it now? Like when we gonna get it? Like, you know what I'm saying? But to answer your question, like my friends, like they really didn't accept the fact that I was ready to give it all up. Like I was done. I'm thinking like I got shot. I went to jail. Like what more do you want? Like
So you lost
all of them?
friends in the process.
Did you lose all of them, or any of them still got your back?
Nah. I mean, I got some. Most of my friends I hang with now they didn't like follow me in the street. They were smart enough to not take the route I take. But most of the dudes I was hanging in the streets with, like, I had to really cut ties from a lot of people. Even I had to cut off like even my own blood. Like we got back together now, and like I love them to death. I always loved them, but the streets blur your vision. You know what I'm saying? Like it really blur your vision. But like I tell them all the time, like I love all y'all, but we just not on the same page. But it's okay. Like we don't have to hang with each other because I'm going left and you going right. And how dumb would I be when I come sit on your hood? I'm not in the mix of nothing, but you beefing with the whole world. And when I'm sitting with you in your neighborhood, your bullshit becomes my bullshit. And if bullets fly, they ain't gonna say, "Oh, Keith right there, don't shoot." Nah, and I'm not putting myself in that situation. Like I don't hang on blocks. I'm not like I could like Parkland, Congress Park, Woodland. I could have stood up there with anybody, but I'm not doing that because I'm just not about that life no more. Like I'm not like. I own a home and I got a backyard. If I want to go outside, I'm going to my backyard. If I want to have a Don Julio on top of my head, I'll do that in my backyard. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't drink Don Julio.
But I just laugh because people, I don't understand the Don Julio on the head, but that's something else. It might have been okay. I missed that one.
I don't know.
It must have been a TikTok trend. I missed it. But I be saying people do it.
Yeah, and he's funny. He have a little Don Julio bottle, and he be singing like a song like Don Julio.
They sponsor him.
He get money from that.
Listen, you see how like a black man gave $1 million company $1 million more dollars.
Exactly.
You see how strong we are? Just thinking about that.
Exactly.
Dang.
Like, you know
We need to do that for each other.
Exactly.
Nah, for real.
We need to support each other like that. Like keep our money circulating in our community.
I wish that was the case, but
I don't. You probably about the same thing I'm about to say.
yeah, no, it's just a competition. Like
Exactly.
That's what I hate.
Happen.
I hate that.
It's not gonna happen.
You got a bar, you're a promoter. Instead of you bringing your business to her bar, you in competition with her, or you don't want to even see her get more money or more followers than you, so you gonna go to Tom way uptown when y'all could have partnered together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I don't understand. There's so many businesses and there's so many like entrepreneurs. I'm like, why y'all don't link? It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That ain't my lane, so I just mind my business and I just do what I do.
Yeah, I just learned to not even ask why about the whole black supporting black, because I think it just dates all the way back to like slavery times where black people would rather go to the white person's store than the black person's shop because they feel like they getting something that they can't. Why do you want something that somebody don't want you to have?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like you buying stuff that they don't even want you to have it.
That's just like with designer clothes.
Yeah,
Tommy here figured out want us wear his clothes.
They don't want us to wear their clothes, but we have to wear their clothes instead of wearing our neighbor's clothes. But but it dates again. It's trauma, and it dates back to trauma back then. It's generational. Some chains that we breaking them from generation to generation to generation, and that's why it's so hard. And we might feel like it's so frustrating. And the people like us who are fighting to break these curses, sometimes it gets so overwhelming because it's like the chains are thick.
Yeah.
It's not. We're not just breaking a bracelet chain. We breaking chains that date back to when. Before Martin Luther King, it's our we breaking ancestor chains that they couldn't break. Like it's thick. It goes back a long time, and it was passed down a lot, just like racism. all white people are not racist.
Yeah.
No,
Most modern white people are not racist, and they might not even be learning about racism. And well, they probably never learn about racism. But if it is white kids that don't like black kids, it's because they learning it from their parents, and their parents learned it from their parents, and their parents learned it from their parents. And it takes a strong individual to break a chain like that. We had teachers at Maya Angelou who openly told us that their parents was racist, but they wasn't. You know, but it takes a strong individual to break down those chains. So it's deep, man. It's deep. Yeah. So the fight that we fighting, it just, and that's again like one of our biggest struggles today too is making stuff about ourselves, because ain't nothing in this world about us. Nothing. We didn't come to this earth to live for us. We didn't. We didn't.
Like interconnected.
Everything is a circle of life. It's a circle of life.
Like animals are service to animals, like a circle of life. This animal feed off this one die, make fertilizer.
Exactly.
The earth keep going. We get, that's how people. That's how it's supposed to circulate with people too, because of
all living things
to others.
All living things. We are all in service to one another. Without trees, we won't be here. But you see people pissing and shitting on trees. Like, we have to care about every living organism in this world to survive, for this world to survive. Because right now, if people can't tell, nature is starting to go against us. Now, if y'all didn't see the movie where the apocalypse happened because nature said, "Fuck it, I'm sick of these humans."
She's tired.
They effing up the world.
She's tired.
They effing up the world. Get rid of them. Nature start killing people. The trees start blowing wind that just knocking people down. Fuck that. So I'm sick of it. Because if we don't take them out, they gonna take us out. Let's wipe them out and bring some new people that understand the structure of the world, the structure of the universe. Somehow, somewhere, we lost sight of what is important.
Exactly.
We are people make themselves so important. You're not important. We are such small organisms to this world. If you think about the part of the world that you make up, you not even 0.1. You like negative. Like, you this small, but you make yourself this big. And I think that's what the problem is. People are so self-centered. It's not about self. It's a we thing, not a me thing.
Exactly.
And and I just feel like it's becoming such a me thing that it's just messing up everything. Everything.
And social media is not helping with that.
Social media not helping.
That's a whole nother thing. So what advice would you give your younger self?
Take the mask off and
you said that,
relearn. You gotta relearn everything. Like everything, like what the streets taught me, don't get me wrong, it got me through jail. It got me through the streets. But what the streets taught me, I can't take to corporate America. And that's just facts. Like,
it's real.
We're not getting rich in our neighborhood. We're not being successful in our neighborhood. That shit we gotta step outside our comfort zone. So step outside your comfort zone, take risks, but relearn everything. Oh, I got tired bros before hoes. What the fuck do that mean?
And it just speak on that it's champ, and it annoys me. So you mean to tell me your girl that's at home that cook for you, clean for you, and all this other stuff, you can be more loyal to your homie out on the street more than her?
Man, I don't
You
get
are
it,
a fucking clown.
I don't get it, bro. Like, all that stuff is dumb, man. Like, snitches get stitches. Snitches walking around, alright, like, ain't nothing going on. Like, that was a lie.
Snitches living their murder life.
Snitches living their best life. So, bros before hoes, snitches get stitches.
But
it's so dumb.
Snitching that's another story too, because I know some people that's just putting people behind bars because they they making it a me thing and not a we thing. Like, if you out there doing stuff in these streets and you get caught,
you're supposed to.
Take accountability.
That is the issue. Take
accountability for your actions, because you locked up for something different. You won't say, "Oh, I got something else you might want. It can get me out." No, I don't agree with that.
That's the part of the game that people fail to realize. Don't nobody follow the rules.
No,
that's the unwritten rules of snitching. I mean, that's the unwritten rules of the streets. Like, don't go hack, don't snitch. You know what else unwritten rules? Don't fuck your friend, baby mother. Don't steal. Don't get high on your own supply. Ain't nobody following no rules. People doing whatever the hell they want to do. People doing whatever the hell they want to do. So my advice to young dudes: be yourself. Take your man along. Lead it, man. The streets is
ain't no love out there.
But like I'm saying, the same cliche. Oh, you gonna be dead on jail. We already know that now. Everybody already know that. The 12-year-olds know that. The 9-year-olds know that. But they still do it. Like we gotta fix us before we fix anybody else.
Yeah, no, that was great. I like that.
Yep.
Fix us before we can fix anybody else.
Yeah.
And now that everybody do know that you either gonna be dead or in jail, now we have to restore and reteach our kids why life is worth living.
Yes.
Because now that's important. We were scared of being dead or in jail.
Yeah.
Well, obviously we wasn't, because a lot of us, I know a lot of people that died or in jail. So that didn't scare us enough. What we should have been being taught was why life is worth living. And how to live a full life, a happy life, a peaceful life.
Yeah.
If you don't have, you done? If you don't, no. If you don't have anything else to say, this was a great interview. Let me tell you something. We answered every question just from the first. We didn't even ask the second, third, fourth question. But you answered everything just from asking the first question. This was a beautiful interview. I'm so happy we got to do this. I'm so happy my father told you to come here and that we reached out, because I learned so much, and I feel like I needed this. Yeah. Like I needed this. And I appreciate you for this, and I am proud of you.
And people need this. People need this.
People need this. I hope that if this video come across any of your friends, I hope that they see that you are the true winner.
Yes.
And they are the ones that's been lame and into lame activity, and I hope that they can get it together. Yeah.
There's so much more out.
I try to lead by example. Like instead of assuming that Lord Dirk really about this life, or he changed his life, or Future really about. I tell my friends, like, look at my story. Y'all know me. Y'all know I was on the verge of being dead or locked up for 50 years. Like, look at me. If I can do it, anybody can do it. That's what I just want to leave with. If I can do it, anybody can do it. It ain't easy, but you need consistency and you need grit. You need grit. Not Quaker Oats, you need grit. I had to be a little funny. I couldn't help myself. I appreciate y'all, man. This was fun.
We appreciate you. So happy to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
I learned so much. Like each and every time that I interview somebody, it gets personal. Like I learn stuff. I feel like I'm becoming a better person by talking to y'all. Like it's about to make me tee up, but I'm not gonna tee up, y'all.
For real, man.
I appreciate
but I'm becoming a better person, like for real, like just where you can't, like we know you personally. Like growing up, we watched you. Like to see you say that you are happy, like being a square, being a family man. That's everything women like us need to hear, y'all. It's men out here, y'all.
Let me tell you, men out here, y'all need to be more like this. Because us women out here, we ain't looking for somebody to come knock us upside our head.
Yeah, man. Listen, get you a nice man.
For that.
You ain't gotta worry about the police running in your house. You know what I'm saying? Get you a guy with a nice credit score, nice bank account.
Hello.
Nah, this was nice though. I appreciate y'all for having me.
This was great. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
And with that being said, do everything with love, with class, and with peace, pretty people.